This is a man who's known internationally. Um, he from the sport that he played, but later on in movies and commentary and just being a controversial figure in the history of the world, almost, dude. We're talking about John Patrick McEnroe, tennis legend, movie legend, and probably the most iconic temper of all time, dude. I mean, we're talking about screaming at the I'm about to say umpire. Still thinking about baseball. Still screaming at chair umpires. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Throwing rackets at them. Like asking what game are they watching. Like dude. Besides being almost the goat, he's the goat. He's like a heel. He's like Stone Cold to wrestling. One day he's a heel. One day he's the face. But the people love him either way.
Right? He's a
So
legend, man.
he's a legend, dude. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Johnny Boy. John McEnroe, born 1959, February. Overseas kind of man. Um, what more is there to say? I believe he's the only male player in tennis history to be number one in both singles and doubles at one time. There's not a title he hasn't won. Wimbledon was almost renamed McEnroe. Um, I'm just saying, like, 9 Grand Slams, men's double titles. He got 7 major singles. Three, like I said, U.S. Open, fourth U.S. Open, three at Wimbledon. They say that his single match record, well, not, we're not gonna say it is remaining. It's the best one. He's 82-3 in history. You see what I'm saying? With the best single season win percentage of all time. He's Jamal Charles esque of getting 5-5 a carry almost. If I got to paint the picture for you other fans of how this is looking like, dude. He's doing stuff and has done stuff that no one's ever been able to duplicate. And this boils down to his attitude as well. John McEnroe, besides being the most angriest person in all of tennis, dude, and most skilled, um, we just really just gonna jump into it, man. There's not a person you can say that he did like besides his doubles partner. Even though they had their even though they had their controversy, um, dude, there's just so much that he's done as far as a compliment wise. It almost overlooks the fact that he was almost psychotic. Controversial, especially when it comes to the officiating of the game, especially when it comes to himself and not being able to compete at the levels that he wanted to sometimes. Even now, though, John McEnroe is still in the news in 2024, facing backlash over comments about the French Open winner, Iga Swiatek, talking about her, talking about throwing on a little makeup, dude. Like, this dude, he's the Kanye West of tennis. Like, he has no middle ground. There's no gray area. Um, but dude, for him to be such a winner, he has like no humility, which is what I'm very proud of. Because if you're the best, then be the best and always be the best. Don't never change. Excuse me. So infamously, as far as him being just one of the greatest of all time, you look at him. You look at his personal life. He's had a lot of situations that we could talk about. There's documentaries and autobiographies about him and everything like that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, he
but
was the youngest guy to ever be ranked number one at 21 years old. So there's, you can go into numerous stats that just show what kind of guy he really was.
man, and if you get a guy who's willing to go toe to toe with Peter, like I said, and like I said, really just doing what he wants to do, like and not being apologized for it. I mean, he has bursts of rage pretty much wherever he go. I remember I remember what was that program called? I think it was called like Spit and Image or something like that. And it was talking about how he would be just going off on people, him and his wife yelling at each other and throwing stuff at each other all the time. You want to talk about toxic personified, and you think about John McEnroe, but my only thing is with this man, and having all that success and everything like that, it might make you a little crazy. It might. It just might do it. But
A little unhinged, we'll call it.
yeah, or a little unhinged, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Um, what more can I say about John McEnroe? Besides
Well,
him being just the icon of tennis in general.
yeah,
Um,
besides being the icon of tennis, we really need to touch on being an icon in pop culture and movies and such. You know, he
man,
does have 29 movie credits, movie TV show credits, which is a pretty big number in my opinion for like a tennis athlete. Even won an award, an MTV Best Cameo Award for his appearance in Anger Management. I'll
shout out to Adam
personally,
Sandler.
yeah, and speaking of Adam Sandler, I'll personally never forget him in Mr. Deeds. Like that's why I really kind of think of him. But he's in all sorts of things like Jack and Jill. Him and Adam Sandler, they they must be boys or something.
Yeah, because he's probably the only dude that can get him to calm down. You know what I mean? He's on record himself calling himself a lunatic in many documentaries. But like I said, I mean, we're not going to talk about all the things he's done without talking about his past a little bit because we got to remember, man, these people have kind of colorful backgrounds. John McEnroe was pretty open about his relationship with his father and everything, who's an alcoholic and everything. Um, and really growing up under somebody who's under a whole nother influence, it's something different in general. You almost want to think about how did you make it out of a situation like that when somebody's really the person taking care of you is raising you straight up off liquor intuition. So you know what I'm saying. So there's got to be a few psychotic situations or a few things that not break a man, but definitely makes him unhinged. So you can tell, like I said, leading to his many tantrums on the court, and most of the time he'd be mad at the officiator, but he'd be mad at himself though. For like I said, for most of that stuff, man, he didn't hit the ball right. He's cracking rackets and throwing them. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the right serve he wanted. He's cracking racks and throwing them. So I mean, it's the perfectionism that he chased because of having such a tormented kind of childhood that really made him the best tennis player, but also made him the most unhinged and most critical. Because it's like, how do you walk on an eggshell without cracking
Right. Exactly.
it?
It's
But
true, especially, you're talking about a tennis player where it doesn't seem like that should be really the case.
man, you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think that that'd be the situation, but like I said, with a tumultuous past like that, and him openly talking about, and that's why he did anger management the movie because he was openly seeking anger management and stuff like that. So a lot of that stuff, just benefited him. Not coincidence, but dude, you were set up to be a winner, John, and I'm glad that you are, and I'm glad that you overcame the alcoholism of your father and the absenteeism of your mother, things like that, because that can break a person. And John McEnroe could have just been the dude at the local country club that was really good, but instead, he's the most famous and probably the best in the world's ever seen.
Right. Crazy to think about.
It is. It's insane. Like I said, dude, his best season. We talked about it earlier. Dude, 82-3 in matches, bro. And that's still to be untouched in this era going forward. Like, bro, we've never seen somebody. He set the whole year off with a 42 win game streak. So, I mean, at that point, dude, there's really nothing to talk about. It's the highest and longest streak in tennis history, and without a shadow of a doubt, the reason why he won Wimbledon, and which led to the him yelling at the official, "Are you serious?" thing. Well, he ended up winning, but like I said, that's him being a perfectionist and thinking, "Look, man, if I'm giving it my all, you need to be doing your best job at officiating too." So, like I said, I can relate to him because I want the people judging the game that I'm playing to be fair too,
Absolutely.
man. But yeah, John, we appreciate you. Appreciate what you did. Like I say, you was a couple of marriages here and there, a couple of divorces here and there. One of his wives, John McEnroe, he got all his children. One of his wives unhinged more than him. She was on that dope. Like for real, she's on that heroin, and like I said, boy, it's crazy out there, and like I said, and that you can't be serious. His whole thing, like I said, when he said that to the Empire, or I keep calling him Empire. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's tennis chair umpire for the
Right.
specific folk out there. It's become one of the most popular memes in history. One of the titles of his autobiography. One of the titles of the documentary. About, like I said, bro, to take one of your own moments and turn it into one of the biggest things in American literature and in American entertainment history just goes to show you the strength of overcoming, and maybe a little bit of that half. You got to be unhinged to be successful. Maybe that's the
Maybe
blueprint.
it could be the recipe. Seems to be working for some of these folks.
Man, and if you get Shia LaBeouf to pay you in the movie, then I guess it's just what it is. Hey.
I mean, I'd take them at this point.
Yeah, why not? I don't see why not. Look, he was good enough for Optimus Prime. He good enough for me.
Big facts. Big facts.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, those are our first four unhinged heroes here, and we appreciate y'all coming out on